Welcome to our 17th edition of Drive Chat. As you well know, it's an opportunity that we use to speak to industry experts on subject and matters that relate to road safety. We were fortunate enough to run an event in the not too distant past. In fact, it was during Transport Month in October, where we involved the tire industry. So what we've done is we've invited the managing executive from SATMC, Nduduzo, Chala, to join us, and we're going to pose some questions to him. And if you're in the background there, please join us. Hi, thank you for joining us, Ndu. I'm glad to see you've got the memo on what color shirt you had to wear. I know it's not our corporate colors, but at least you read your mails, not like many other people. Tell us a little bit about your organization, please, and maybe your role in it.
No, fantastic. Thank you, Eugene, and thank you for having myself and the SATMC. The SATMC is the South African Tire Manufacturers Conference. It's an industry association for local tire manufacturers. So we look after the trade policy issues. And I think we touch mainly on the three predominant pillars, which is your economic, that's your trade policy, and also your APDP requirements, which make sure that the members are competitive. The second pillar probably surrounds environmental legislation and regulations. As we all know that I think we also have to cater for the end of use for the tires once they reach their useful life, and there is an industry plan for that. So the SATMC coordinates that for the four local manufacturers. And lastly, I think, which is a pivotal and I think a priority for the SATMC and its members, is the safety element. And we talk a lot, and I think we bring awareness a lot to tire safety and road safety. So if I can say in encompassing, so we are the voice of the four local tire manufacturers, which is Bridgestone, Continental, Goodyear, and Sumitomo Rubber.
Great. Thank you for that. You've shared a little bit about road safety. Can you just share some examples of road safety initiatives that you get engaged in, so that when motorists see this, they know it's you behind it?
Fantastic. I think I've probably I'll speak to that in three parts. Firstly, as the SATMC, or as the industry association, ourselves, I think we pride ourselves in the partnerships that we also and which are strategic for us. The one being, I think, the likes of MasterDrive as well. But certainly, I think we have a rollout of a tire safety program, which we have partnered with the Road Accident Fund. So we are currently in that rollout phase for that, whereby we are capacitating and training traffic law enforcement across the country. So far, I mean, I think we've reached more than 800 of them across the country. We've only done, I think, probably half of the the delivery that we have to do with them. So we visit each of the constituencies in each of the provinces, and I think that's one of them. And then that's the first day deals with what a tire is, the tire safety critical elements, and how they need to enforce Section 212 of the National Road Traffic Act, because we found that there's a lot of discrepancy in how they understand and enforce that Section 212. And the second day of the training is more on an activation, which is focused on commuters in and around the region or province that we are based in, whereby I think we then have an educational roadblock in partnership again with the law enforcement across those regions. And then we talk about tire safety. We let the commuters interact with the law enforcement, our tire experts, and also we tell them about the tires in their vehicles so that they can drive off knowing that, one, they've got proper advice from the tire experts, which we as the SATMC and the members provide, and also that confidence to say if they don't have, that they can then go to the nearest tire dealer or tire store for them to get the proper advice. And also, so that's the one aspect that we do as the
You mean
SATMC.
there's more? There's more?
There's more. There's more, Eugene.
Okay.
From the
Okay.
SATMC members, I think there's a lot of engagement that has been happening with the dealers or the tire dealers and the transporters in terms of communication on tire safety and also with the dealers in terms of the consumer-facing or front-end staff in terms of also capacitating them more in terms of understanding and the safety critical components of a tire so that they can impart that knowledge onto us as the commuters or the general public. And then lastly, I think in terms of initiatives which are all encompassing as part of the SATMC, is that our members are or have their retail part, which is Bridgestone is Super Quick, Continental is Best Drive, Goodyear is High Q, and Sumitomo is the Dunlop Zone. They can go to these approved stores or dealers and they can get their tires checked before they embark on any road trips in this holiday season. So a lot is happening in this space, and I think we're proud as SATMC that we are making a mark. And as I said, some of the partnerships that we are doing with MasterDrive as well to try and bring that messaging of tire safety and road safety across to everyone in the country.
Thanks for that, Ndu. I'm going to ask you another question now, which I didn't prep you for, but I know you're going to be able to answer it. But just before I pose it, we see it in the training where people think that the tire that's on their vehicle is just a piece of rubber. When we share with them how it impacts on their driving, both from an environmental perspective as well as a safety perspective, they're kind of blown away. But we can only reach the people that we talk to. So to see your initiatives, I'm glad that you're taking it further. But here's a question, and I need you to keep it fairly short. What are the challenges that SATMC experiences, and a kind of a heads up, with regard to the rubbish that's on the market? Maybe you'd care to share some thoughts on what people should be careful about.
Just repeat the last part to share that.
Share with us what motorists should be careful about. For example, buying tires off the side of the road.
Fantastic. I think that's a brilliant one to say. We did a study a year or two ago, particularly on part one tires, and I think I'm glad that you brought the topic up. And 63% of the tires that we sampled across the country were actually illegal. They were declared as waste tires. So people, or let me say commuters, are not aware of these things because of a shortage of disposable income, and then they purchase on the side of the road thinking that they're saving a 200 Rand here, whereas I think that could be a cost of a life or cost of a family person. So those are the things that we are trying to because it's an unregulated market as well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just going to mention a few things before I'll ask you a final comment. I've been exposed to some of the experts in your industry, the stretching of tires, very, very in tune with some of the motorists, the dangers of that, regrooving tires. And then, of course, buying second-hand tires that are winter spec tires, and we use it in our weather. I sincerely hope that motorists, and by the way, we've got some tips on our website about which one should be doing with regard to tire safety. I trust that viewers will take heed of this because we want to lessen our death toll during this festive season. And that tells me, what is your parting message for motorists during the festive season?
From the SATMC, we say treads on track. So people need to ensure that they tread are on track, that they look after their tires, they look after also their vehicles in this festive season. Every moment and opportunity that we get, I think we need to save a life. I think we are also responsible in the decisions that we make to save a life. And we urge commuters as well to follow the SATMC on our website, on our social platforms. The members, as I've mentioned, which is Bridgestone, Continental, Goodyear, and Dunlop, and also MasterDrive on the tire tips and road safety tips that we have to guide them and to give them, the advice that they need. And we wish everyone a fantastic holiday. And this festive season, we urge everyone to be safe and make the right choices and decisions when it comes to your tires. Do not compromise on that. Thank you.
On that note, we're going to say goodbye to Ndu as we finish off this message from Drive Chat number 17. And our message is threefold. obey the rules of the road, don't drink and drive, and please do not be distracted while you're driving. And that really means use of your cell phone. Of course, there are many other things. But on that message, we wish to see you. Have a safe festive season, and we'll see you in the new year. And thank you for joining us, and happy to you too. Cheerio.
Fantastic.